So then she turned around and I'm like this, pull it together, don't cry. Cause like for some reason, like, I don't know what it is, probably how I like destroyed my hormones with all the IVF. I'm always like, okay, why am I about to cry? I don't even know like what's going on. All right, ladies, let's get real here. I have done a lot of videos with gray hair, about gray hair, products to use, how I got through it, all of these things. But I really want to talk to you today about how beautyreinvented.com even exists today. I have some stories I want to share with you about women that I've encountered in 2018 that were very powerful. And I just wanted you to figure out how to survive your gray hair journey, because you might feel very alone, but you're with a lot of women that are going through this also. So first and foremost, I want to tell you how Beauty Reinvented even started. So I had bought a URL, a website name that I created in like 4 years ago or something. And the intention behind having this website was that I wanted to bring my permanent makeup artists that I knew from, I have one in South Africa and in Sonoma, and I wanted to bring all these artists together so we could do like 1 week of doing areola repigmentation for women that were recovering from cancer or their mastectomies, and we basically tattoo the areola back on to their breasts. So I was like, how do I like, instead of doing one here and one there, like, let's do it all at one time in October. And I thought that would be so cool. And then I started a GoFundMe for it. And, that wasn't a good idea because you can't really show breast on there. And that didn't really work out. So I thought, okay, because we're going to need supplies and we're going to need airfare and we're going to need all this stuff to make this really happen. And so then I basically like shelved it. I put it on the shelf and I was like, okay, maybe I'll come back to it and figure out how I could really do this. So then I started getting emails in November of 2017 about this URL, like somebody wanted to buy it. And I was like, it's not for sale. Like I have plans. I've already started stuff. I've already invested money into it. Like I can't just sell it. Like that's ridiculous. So then I thought it was spam too. So I kept deleting it. And then they were texting me and I thought, it's so weird. How are these people getting my number? I don't know. It's just so weird. So then, it got to the point in January of 2018 that I was like, okay, fine. You know what? That's fine. Here we go. I sold it. And then I thought, well, now what am I going to do? Now I have to start from scratch. So I was brushing my teeth one night and I thought about, like, what am I really doing? I'm reinventing myself. I'm an entrepreneur. You're always evolving. I'm always reinventing. I'm always reinventing makeup. I'm always reinventing looks. I was like, wow, Beauty Reinvented. That's such a great name. Is it taken? So I ran over and it wasn't. I bought it. And then I went crazy as usual and got my website up in March. It was my big launch for Beauty Reinvented, where I wanted to showcase other women. I wanted to showcase other stories about women that are going gray and embrace their aging and all this kind of stuff. So it's been such a beautiful, beautiful journey. And then I had the idea for years now, but it really all of a sudden was just like so at the forefront of my mind every single day about writing a book and writing something that was easy and fast and powerful and inspirational, and it was going to kickstart someone to be able to say, you know what, I'm tired of complaining about my hair. I can do this. Or, it's not a fluffy book. It's not like, okay, no biggie, just, do this. It's more like, okay, ladies, like pull it together. Let's go. And this is how we're going to do it. And this is how we're going to get through the gray hair journey. This is how we're going to get through the negative comments from spouses, from friends, from society, from whoever. This is how we're going to do it. And that is why I was so really obsessed with writing this book and getting it out. Not to mention that Allure magazine had stated in 2018 that gray hair was the hair trend of the year, which I don't think it's a trend. Younger people, yeah, maybe it's a trend. For us over 40, it's not a trend. It's a lifestyle. It's a choice. It's a bold decision to society and what we're doing. So that was basically how Beauty Reinvented actually came to fruition. And then I thought, okay, now that I've written this book, it was so much fun and what have you. Oh my gosh, now I have to figure out this whole publishing, sector, and I don't know anything. And I had a lot of emails from you ladies telling me how like the publishing industry is like sharks and they're going to take advantage of you. I thought, oh my God, what did I do? So I did a lot of research and I decided upon 99 Designs because they have a contest where you can put your book up and you can put, pictures and give a whole synopsis, and you have all these different designers creating a book cover for you. And I thought, how cool is that? I'll have all these different perspectives on what Beauty Reinvented means to them and see how it comes together. So I didn't really know what I was doing. I just did it. And I had the first 4 submissions were from the same woman, and her name is Donna, and she was incredible. I knew that her the fourth style, which is this is the cover that she created. When the second I saw this, I was like, that's it. But I wanted to see what everybody else had. I didn't want to just kind of be like, okay, because I just still wasn't sure. And then I got so many submissions, I got really like overwhelmed, and I thought, no, that's it. This is it. I picked this cover, and I was so happy I did because it's everything that I wanted it to be. It has pink in it, which I'm just obsessed with pink, and I just felt it had the blow dryer, and it was all about beauty and just fun and happy, and it was really wonderful. So it was really interesting because Donna had a connection to my book before she even read my book because she also is going gray. So I felt like that was such an interesting connection that we had before I even picked her. I knew that she joined my private Beauty Reinvented Facebook group, and I really feel it's like a really special connection with women. And then I hired her to do the interior and do the editing and all that kind of stuff. And she really did. She really poured her heart and soul into this like it was her own book. And I really appreciated that. And I really felt that it was just such a perfect partnership for me to have somebody like that really cared and really got the story. So I had a drink for each chapter and she, did these sketches, and then she put in a sketch form, my face on each chapter, which I thought was really different. I would have never thought about doing that. And I think that was just kind of like it was meant to be, it was meant to happen with the whole book. And I keep the book in my purse because I was told, like, you never know who you're going to run into. You might be able to, inspire someone, and it would be random. And it's probably weird that I give someone my book at the Publix or the shopping's, in the line at the grocery store. But I have recently run into 2 different women. And one was at Victoria's Secret, and she was right in front of me. And I looked up, and I was waiting to return something. And I saw that she had this, started the whole, probably about 4 months of gray. And so I said, I had to say something, right? So I said, how are you liking your gray hair journey right now? And she's like, oh my gosh. She's like, it's been like 5 months. She's like, I don't know. She's like, I tried to highlight it a little bit and it didn't work out. I'm like, don't do that. Just let it go. I said, it looks beautiful. It's like silver. It looks beautiful. So she had silver to like here. And then she had like these blonde streaks, and then it was dark, and she had it up kind of like twisted up. She said, I'm going to be 50 or I'm going to be 49. And I said, oh, I think it looks beautiful. I really think it looks beautiful. And so she was like, thank you. She's like, well, my mom recently passed away and had this beautiful silver hair. And I feel like I'm doing a tribute to her. And I was like, that's so beautiful. I really think that you're going to be very happy with it. So then she turned around, and I'm like this, pull it together, don't cry. Cause like for some reason, like, I don't know what it is, probably how I like destroyed my hormones with all the IVF. I'm always like, okay, why am I about to cry? I don't even know like what's going on. And so she turned around and she was like crying, and it was like, I was like, oh my God. I was like, it was just so meaningful, because when people say terrible, horrible things about your hair, about your age, about what you look like, because you're going through this journey and it's by choice, you have no idea why they're doing it. You have no idea how emotionally deep it is that someone decides to let their gray hair out. So when you want to say something nasty to a woman, whether it's on YouTube or Instagram or in real life or wherever, just realize that, you have no clue and you have no position to say anything. So I was so happy, and she turned around and she said, "Thank you so much." And I was like, "Listen," I said, "look up beautyreinvented.com and it'll give you a lot of support." And she was like, "Okay." And then she found me on Instagram, and I think it's amazing. So anyway, see, I can't even I have to pull it together. Okay, so then I had a second experience with a woman. I was in line and she had on a ski cap, and she turned around. She goes, "Oh, your hair is so beautiful." She's like, "I think it's so beautiful." And I said, "Oh my gosh." I'm like, "Thank you so much." I said, she's like, "I've been thinking about letting mine go, And I said, "Oh, you should. You really should. It's a little tough, but you'll." And so she took it off, and her hair was buzzed, and she said, "Well, I've been going through chemo and it's coming in gray." I said, I said, "You've got to join my Beauty Reinvented group. We have a lot of women that have gone through cancer, and it's come back silver, and it's beautiful, and they're embracing it." And she's like, "Okay." So I gave her the information. She's now on the board. She posted 4 pictures. She looks beautiful. And it's just so nice to have other women chime in and say, "Oh my God, that's you look beautiful," or "Yes, do it," or "I also went through cancer and I embrace my gray and it looks beautiful now. My hair is so much, healthier," or whatever the case is. So those have been some encounters that I've had that were very unexpected, that touch my heart, that make me feel that I'm doing the right thing, that I wrote a book for that encouragement, that fierce, bold decision to say to society, "I'm sorry, I'm no longer participating in feeling like I have to conform into hair dye, magazine covers, any glossy advertisement. This is who I am, and this is what I'm doing, and I'm happy with it." So how to survive your gray hair journey? Join women such as the group that I have for encouragement. Read about other women that have gone through it. Connect with other women. Just because you're on a board, find women that are in your city and have coffee with them. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not like you're going on a blind date. This is women connecting with women in your meeting, and you're building relationships, and that's what it's all about. It's not about sitting behind your phone or your computer and just basically saying little things here and there. Get involved, get out, talk to people. I love meeting women. I love talking with them. I love connecting them with other people. Who knows? I always felt like I've always been a connector and figuring things out where, "Oh my gosh, you would love, so-and-so because she's going through the same thing," or whatever. So the book I wrote for you. I wrote to basically be different than anything else and to just encourage you and to get you to the next level. So until my next video, I'll see you later.